friends, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here or if you're coming over from the playlist, I'm Holly. Welcome. I'm happy to have you here. Today I'm sharing with you a Valentine's Day treats collaboration video. We're sharing different types of desserts and treats that you can make for your family for Valentine's Day. It is being hosted by Kristy at Kristy's Farmhouse and Melissa at I'm Merely Melissa. They both have great content on their channels. They do cooking and grocery hauls, cleaning motivation, organizing type videos, lifestyle videos. So please go and check their channels out. I will leave the links down below in the description box. I will also leave the playlist in the description box as well. And a lot of my YouTube friends are making lots of great desserts for this collaboration. So I think you'll find something that you will enjoy to make for your family for Valentine's Day. And on my channel, you'll find cooking and baking videos. I also do occasional grocery hauls and sometimes what I cooked for dinner type videos. So if that's the type of content you like to see, please click that subscribe button. I would love to have you here and become a part of my YouTube family. And now I'm going to show you the treat that I made for this Valentine's Day collaboration. I think that you would enjoy this and hopefully make this for your family for Valentine's Day. I hope that you enjoy the video.
And this Valentine Day treat I'm making is a red velvet Oreo Truffle Brownie bar. So it's a mouthful, but it has 3 components to it and very easy to make. The recipe calls for a red velvet cake mix, and I'm using Betty Crocker. Hers called for Duncan Hines, but that's what I've had. You need 2 eggs. Her recipe also called for white chocolate instant pudding. I could not find that, so I'm using the Jello cheesecake flavor. You will need a 1/2 cup of butter melted, 6 tablespoons of vegetable oil. I'm using canola oil, and 1 pack of Oreo cookies, 1 block, 8-ounce block of Philadelphia cream cheese or any brand, and some type of non-stick spray. I like to use the Baker's Joy when I'm baking a cake or anything like that. Some mini chocolate chips and almond bark. And you won't need this whole pound, you just need half of it. So we're only going to use half of this for this recipe. And now I'm going to show you how to put this together. Like I said, it's 3 components, but very easy to make. And you will need a large mixing bowl, and I'm going to use my stand mixer to mix everything up, so I'm going to use that. For the cake mix, do not use the measurements or anything that's on the back of the box. Ignore that. Just use the cake mix. So you want to put that in first. Then add the melted butter, the 2 eggs, and the instant pudding mix. Also, same thing, do not follow the directions on the box. Oil, and then you're going to take this and mix this up, and you want it mixed up for about 2 to 3 minutes. Make sure everything's fully incorporated, and you should get a thick batter like this. So it's not something you're going to pour into a bowl, into the pan. You will have to put this in and flatten it out. So I'm using that Baker's Joy. Sprayed my pan, a 9 by 13 inch pan, and just put it's almost like a dough than a batter. So you put that mixture in, and I started out just spreading it with the spatula, and then I used the back of a spoon, and that worked out fine. And I'm going to use my food processor to crush up the Oreos, but if you don't have one, you can definitely use a Ziploc bag. Just put them in there. Take a rolling pin or something, or anything that you can use to crush them up, and do it that way. Either way will work. And you want to make sure that this is chopped up really fine. I closed it and mixed it up a little bit more just to make sure, because there was a few chunks in there. Then I just poured this into another bowl. That way I can mix up the cream cheese. And you can see it's pretty fine chopped. Then you take that cream cheese. Usually I would put the cream cheese in first and spread that cream cheese around a little bit, mix it up, and then add whatever I was going to add to it. I did not do that this time, and it just takes a little bit longer to mix everything in. It makes a difference if you add the cream cheese to the bowl first and then add the ingredients after. But it just took a few minutes, and I just mixed all of that in. You want to make sure that you don't have any crumbs left. So it's almost like making, if you've ever made Oreo balls, that's basically what you're mixing up here with that cream cheese. So you just want to make sure you get everything mixed in and it combines together. It'll stick together, as you can see there. And then once that's done, you will put this to the side, and you want to make sure that that cake cools completely before we add this to it. And I noticed in the comments of the recipe someone mentioned it was too cakey and not brownie-like, so they took a spatula and just kind of flattened it out a little bit when it came out of the oven. So I did that. I'm hoping that that will work. Once we get to the next step, we'll find out. But I just took some of that air out to kind of make it more of a brownie than a cake. So we shall see if that works. And once it cooled, it did feel like more, I guess, of a brownie. Hopefully it's not too hard, but it was definitely too cakey when it first came out. It may have deflated if I wouldn't have done that, but I wanted to make sure I had the opportunity to kind of flatten it out. So now I'm putting the Oreo truffle mixture over the top, and you want to spread that as evenly as you can. It's better to use a silicone spatula than it is to use the back of a spoon for this part. I did try that, and you'll see, and I just didn't feel like that was going to work. So I'm just trying to spread this as evenly as I can from corner to corner and side to side, the best that I can. It doesn't have to be perfectly smooth or anything, but you just want to have it, I guess, more evenly spread. So you don't want to have too many spots where you're going to have thicker Oreo pieces and thinner. So I'm not sure how that's going to work out, but we'll see. Now the next step is to melt the chocolate bark, and you want to just use half of that package, and you microwave it for about 40 seconds or so increments, and you should get the smooth consistency. And then this bowl is very, very hot, so I'm trying not to burn my hand with that, but it gets to a point where I have to kind of hold the bowl because using that pot holder is not working very well because I have to scrape it out. So as you pour it on, you also want to spread this because this will set up, you have a certain amount of time to work with it before it does start to dry and set up. So just kind of work as fast as you can. That bowl was still a little hot, but I was able to just grab it by the edges and just kind of start working with it to spread that out as evenly as you can. And once you have that, you want to make sure you get to the edges and in the corners and everything. So just fully cover the Oreo truffle, and that's all you're doing with that. And if I would have thought about it, I could have melted this in a glass measuring bowl, measuring cup that I have with the handle. That would have worked pretty well. And while this is still warm, that chocolate's still warm and hasn't dried yet, take those little mini chocolate chips and just put as many or as little as you want on top. I tend to put a lot because I like those chips. And I started to cut it into squares. I didn't want to wait too long. I did let that chocolate like dry and set up. It probably would get a little bit harder, I think, and that's why I was concerned that it would crack, which a little bit of it did, but that's okay. So I just wanted to make sure I would be able to cut it and not where it would be a solid block of chocolate. But it's a thin layer, so it wasn't too bad. And I just kind of, when I cut it, I kind of dragged that knife. I didn't really try to pick it up too much and just dragged it across. That way it didn't move the bars too much. But I should have, when I'm cutting it here, I should have turned it already to do that, but I did not. So lesson learned. So if I would have turned it, I would have been able to cut it a little bit even. You can see it's a little jagged, but they taste the same. So the only thing is, it just kind of messed up the way I wanted to cut these. So the third row is a little bit bigger. I decided just to leave them that size. I didn't want to cut too much off because then you'd end up with a really small piece. So I just left them just like that. And I just waited a little bit before I took them out and kind of cut around the sides, so that way I could loosen up that chocolate. And this is what they look like when they're done. These were really good. I thought they were going to be too sweet once I started making it, but they weren't, at least not for me. And I don't like really overly sweet things, so I felt it was just the right sweetness with these. You can see that red velvet on the bottom, so that's the brownie, and it did have more of a brownie texture than a cake texture. And that middle part is that Oreo truffle, and the top is the chocolate. Really, really good. I was pleasantly pleased with these. We enjoyed these. Very delicious. Worth making, worth the time, and it really didn't take that long to make. It's the spreading out of everything, I guess. But something really delicious, and you kind of get a little bit of everything in one treat. So you get red velvet, you get some Oreo, and you get some chocolate. So all worth it. But please check that playlist down below and Kristys and Melissa's channels, and go show some love and support everyone's channels. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you're interested in seeing more like it, please click that subscribe button and the notification bell. That will notify you when I post new videos. I hope everyone has a blessed day and a great week ahead. God bless y'all.
Forever, forever, I watch you as you drive